Shortly after Andy Studdert arrived at NES Rentals as their new CEO, a safety accident nearly took the life of a mother and child. Andy decided to make safety his primary concern and used it to build relationships with his wider staff. Hear about it in this short video, part of our Champions of Responsible Business video series.
When I joined NES in 2004, June of 2004, we were 41 companies that had been loosely rolled up into one. No single corporate culture, very little talking amongst themselves, no direction. Could just come out of bankruptcy. And I was given the sense that people were going to wait me out because I'd been the third or fourth CEO in 2 years, and this guy was going to fail, and so we'll just wait him out. So I was getting stiff-armed. And so I started to visit the branches and realized that we really had a real problem with how we operated the company. So I started to talk about safety, and I started to talk about my experience at United Airlines and how I expected a minimum of continuity across the entire company. So we process mapped the entire company. So we went about and we went down to bare metal and we processed how we did things. It was frightening. The end result was we did things 41 different ways. And I really wasn't getting any traction. And I think people weren't taking me seriously. And so on December the 16th, we hit a bridge in Memphis, Tennessee with a industrial forklift on the back of a semi. And the forklift had come loose from its chains, which was a safety violation, and raised itself up, and it hit the bridge at about 50 miles an hour and broke loose off of the truck, and one of the tines came loose, skipped down the expressway, and went up through a car that was trailing it, and went through the firewall and went right between the two seats, one with a mother and one with a baby and a child seat. That was at 7 o'clock in the morning. And as soon as I heard about this, I shut the entire company down. Every driver was recalled, every salesperson, every management person, every staff person in the company was called back to the office to sit until I got myself together, a quick little presentation. And at 2 o'clock that day, every employee got on a conference call and sat around computers in their office. And I started by saying that this was going to be a monologue, not a dialogue, and that I was tired of being lucky. I was tired of being lucky that I hadn't killed anybody yet, and that we were not going to operate that way. And I made every employee watch pictures of the 20 previous accidents that we'd had over the last 5 years, and shown them how lucky we were we hadn't killed anybody. You had cranes arched over cars. You had this forklift through the firewall of the car. And I said, from this day forward, everybody's going to be retrained in safety, and nobody's going back out on the road until they've been recertified to operate the company's trucks safely and to operate themselves safely. And everybody's responsible for everybody else's safety. Our goal is to get every employee home in the same condition that they arrived that day. And people will say that that was the defining moment in changing the company. We brought in an outside safety person. We put audits in place, no-notice audits. And if you failed an EHS audit, environmental health and safety audit, then you were put on a program. Your bonus was suspended until you could remediate that. And it became a seriously understood issue. I end every employee conversation with "stay safe," and it became the culture. And if I walked away tomorrow, I would hope it would stay, but I'm not sure. And so it's my job to keep pushing us to a new level of safety and a new level of employee care. The CEO has to set the tone at the top. And the tone at the top was, I'm angry and I'm tired of being lucky. And I'm angry because I'm worried about you all, and I'm worried about us hurting somebody. Imagine, truck driver, how you would have felt if that tine had gone a foot the other way and we'd killed that baby. There was no argument.